Apple releases a new iPhone every year, and every year people feel the pressure to upgrade. But let me tell you something, using the iPhone 13 Pro Max in 2025 feels like cheating. Why? Because this phone is still incredible 4 years later. Hi, my name is Arinze, and today I'm going to prove why you don't need to drop $1,000 plus on a new iPhone every year. Let's take a step back. The iPhone 13 Pro Max was released back in September 2021, and Apple's Senior VP of Worldwide Marketing, Greg Hoswiak, called it the most pro iPhone lineup ever, with the biggest advancement for our camera system, the best battery life, and the fastest performance of any smartphone. That was the promise. But does it still hold up? I think it does, and I'll explain why this phone is still worth your money in 2025. Now, Apple has been releasing new iPhones like clockwork every single year with small incremental updates, and every year people line up or trade in their devices thinking they're gonna get, a groundbreaking upgrade. But here's the reality. The iPhone 13 Pro Max was already so far ahead of its time that 4 years later, it still competes with today's flagships. So if you've been feeling the pressure to upgrade, let me walk you through exactly why you might not need to. The iPhone 13 Pro Max runs on Apple's A15 Bionic chip, and guess what? This thing still smokes most Android phones today. Everyday tasks, buttery smooth. Heavy gaming, no sweat. Video editing on the go. This phone can handle it all like a champ. Now, obviously, if you compare it to the latest iPhone 16 Pro Max, sure, there's a slight bump in speed, but in real world usage, you won't notice the difference, unless you're benchmarking every day. Apple's chips are so powerful that this phone still runs as fast as the day I bought it, honestly. But let's break this down further. In 2025, the A15 chip still outperforms many of the latest Android flagships in terms of raw power, efficiency, and software optimization. Gaming on the phone, smooth as butter. I've tested graphically intensive games like, Genshin Impact, Call of Duty Mobile, and PUBG, and experience is still top tier. No lag, no stutter, just seamless performance. And when it comes to productivity, this phone is no slouch. Whether I'm editing videos in CapCut, managing multiple apps in split view, or rendering high resolution footage, the iPhone 13 Pro Max doesn't break a sweat. Apple hyped up the camera system on this phone when it launched, and for good reason. The triple lens setup with Pro RAW support and cinematic mode still holds up in 2025. So if you're a casual user taking photos of your dog, your coffee, or your vacation, the camera still competes with the best. Night mode, solid 4K video, absolutely flawless. Sure, the iPhone 16 Pro Max might have slightly better low light performance, but is that worth an extra $1,000? I don't think so. Portrait mode still delivers crisp subject isolation with natural looking bokeh. The telephoto lens still allows for amazing zoom without major quality loss. And micro photography lets you capture stunning close-ups. In terms of video, this phone is still a content creator's dream, in my opinion. Cinematic mode was a game changer in 2021 and is still one of the best features today. You get that buttery smooth depth of field effect that looks straight out of a Hollywood production. Add in 4K ProRes recording and you've pretty much got a professional level video setup in your pocket. Here's where the iPhone 13 Pro Max really feels like cheating: the battery. Apple claimed it had the best battery life ever on an iPhone at launch, and 4 years later, it's still insanely good. With normal use, I easily get a full day and sometimes even 2 on a single charge. Now you compare that to newer models, which often don't see huge improvements in battery life. Most phones, even flagships, struggle to maintain strong battery performance over time. But the 13 Pro Max is built different. With a 4352 mAh battery, Apple's optimizations, and the A15's efficiency, this thing still outlasts most phones in 2025. And the build quality, stainless steel, ceramic shield glass, is premium. I think I've taken care of my iPhone 13 Pro Max. It still looks and feels like a brand new device. No plastic, no cheap materials, just premium craftsmanship that has aged really well. So why do we keep buying new iPhones every year? Well, marketing. Apple's brilliant at making us believe we need the latest and greatest, But in reality, if you're using an iPhone 13 Pro Max, you're still holding on to one of the best smartphones in the world. You're not missing out. Think about it. Every year, Apple pushes tiny improvements, slightly better cameras, slightly faster chips, slightly tweaked designs, but at what cost? If you bought this phone in 2021, you've already made one of the smartest tech investments possible, in my opinion. Why throw that away? Now I get it. If you have an iPhone 11 or older, maybe it's time for an upgrade. But if you're rocking the iPhone 13 Pro Max, save your money. You don't need to upgrade just because Apple says so. So do you really need a new iPhone every year? No. And if you're still using an iPhone 13 Pro Max in 2025, you're playing the system instead of letting the system play you. What do you think? Do you upgrade every year, or do you hold on to your phone as long as possible? Drop a comment below, and if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense tech reviews. See you in the next one.